Hey everybody, welcome to the 15th day of the lockdown. In honour of the fact that I've seen my first cherry blossom this week, I thought I'd break out my cherry blossom t-shirt. It was going to go with me to Japan to wear in Kyoto during the cherry blossom viewing in a couple of weeks' time, but unfortunately that's cancelled now. That's had to go away with everything else. So yeah, I thought I'd wear it. There's a question put on the one of the comments saying that would I have enough clean new t-shirts to wear, but I've got quite a few, so that's the challenge now, is to not wear the same t-shirt twice. I might end up having to recycle them if this goes on for a lot longer. So today I'm going to make some turn the foot rings on these pots that I made yesterday to replace the ones that broke. I showed you the ones that cracked and split. These are not black clay, these are ordinary clay. They're going to have a black slip on them, so they're done, they're ready. Another benefit of it being spring and warm now is that things are drying out really nicely. Yeah, so that's it. Turning the bases of those, and then I'm throwing some teapots. So I'll show you the basic setup and how I throw my teapots, and then we'll put them together tomorrow. One of the good things about this shutdown, so I always try and look at the positive in things, is that you get to hear from people who've not heard of it before. So my friend Dennis, who lives in the south of France, rang today. Hello Dennis, if you'll be watching this. Hope you're feeling better soon. He's come down with the virus, so he's going to be fine now, I'm sure. I'm sure he's going to be fine. And that's it, so even my friends are starting to be touched by this damn thing. But anyway, get well soon, Dennis. Here we go. A bit of turning and a few teapots. These are some of the caddies that I've replaced those black ones with. I did some black ones in the previous videos and they all split and cracked. This is a different clay. I threw them yesterday, so luckily this weather now things are drying out really nicely, so I can just turn a foot ring on this now. I've got the Giffen grip out, and I'm just going to turn. It's just a simple foot ring on this. So trying to question of getting it almost centered. Just take that corner off. These are going to have, I've just said it, they're going to have black slip on, because I quite like that black effect with the sort of with the dribbled chino glaze on it. That's all there is to it. Got the cut lid like I've shown you before. That's it, finished. Just need to stop. Right, these are going to be teapots. I'm doing the teapot bodies now, so I'm going to spend a couple of days making these teapots. I'll do the basic, all the different parts of them today, and hopefully tomorrow they'll be dry enough to assemble, and I'll show you how I do that. They're going to have the same faceted body as the tea caddies I did yesterday, but the lid will be slightly different, so I'll show you that in a minute. It's just a question of making a cylinder. You've seen me do this before, but a lot of ceramics, a lot of pottery making is repetitious. That's the whole reason why one of the reasons why the wheel was invented, so we could repeat make things. Speeds up the process. So you do find yourself in this business doing the same things over and over again, but there's so many different jobs that you have to do as a potter, as a sort of a one-man band sort of thing, that it breaks up the monotony. But you do repeat yourself. We're just at the beginning now. I'm just at the beginning process of starting again after the last firing. So everything is a kind of cycle. I'm just in the making bit, which is really, I think, is my favourite part. Oops, making things all up. And just fold over the shoulder at the top. Like I said a bit earlier, this is going to be slightly different. It's not going to have a raised rim where the lid sits on top. It's going to have just a hole really with a slight raised rim that the teapot lid's going to sit in. Plus, I'm not going to make it as small as the previous caddies, the opening, because obviously you've got to get tea bags in and out, or tea in and out. I just throw it with a low, flat, raised gallery. It's not a gallery; it's a raised. A gallery goes in, but it's just a raised lid. The teapot lid will sit on this. It's going to sit inside it. This is based on a teapot by Richard Battery. My favourite teapot maker, along with John Jelfs. I think they're the two best, in my opinion, which is not that important, I suppose, but in my humble opinion, Richard Battery is the best teapot maker in the country. Right, just going to belly it out. My finger here is holding the centre position of this piece, so I don't knock the rim with the tool. So if my hand is there and steady, when I press out from the bottom, I'm just looking here to see what I'm doing here. So this holds it steady, so I don't have to be looking at two things at once, which is virtually impossible. And I just run it up my finger. Make sure that's not falling in, like I've said before. It does tend to collapse when you start to push the body out. Same again. Fingers there, and then push out from the bottom. I suppose you could leave these faceted, vertical, but this gives it a bit more life, I think, pushing it out. It's going in again, look, and just lift it back up. Okay, that's it done. Just need to finish this rim now properly. It goes off centre a little bit. At the bottom, there's not a great deal of water in the bottom. I don't throw away very much water, so to be honest with you. Right, just undercut it and then take that off the wheel. I can find there it is, find the tool. Right, I'm going to throw these spouts next. I do these off the hump. You don't need a massive pile of clay, just enough to lift it off the wheel head. Just isolate a little bit at the top of it. Quite a wide base. And take it in as a cone. Pushing it out a bit further at the base here so I don't get it too thick. And cone it up. There's only so much you can do when you've got chunky fingers. We'll get to this point and then it's just a question of thinning it out. And then what I use now is a needle. You use a piece of dowel and you can throw with a piece of dowel and narrow it up. If you just push it straight in and go up, you thicken the neck a bit, but by putting this on the inside, you're keeping the wall thickness quite thin. And then just, I like a nice curve. I like it to curve out of the pot. Some people like a bulbous one, but I can't quite get those on to look right in my own mind, so. I'll just cut this off. A bit of fine tuning. That's it. A dry hand. And cut it off with a needle. And that's it lifted off. Right, you can throw these lids off the hump or straight off the wheel. I'm going to do this one straight off the wheel. So I just I've got a caliper width of the gallery. I'll get an idea of where I want it. And we just press down off centre. And you've got a lid really. I'm just going to bring this lip up. Leave it quite thick here because you're going to spread this out and it's going to get thinner. So if it's thin here, by the time it gets out here it's going to be a lot thinner. So, and that's the bit that chips when you're washing it up or put it in the dishwasher or whatever. I'll just straighten that up a little tiny bit, and then it's just a question of I run it over my thumb and fold it out. Run it over my thumb, and what that does is two things. The depth of my thumb gives me the depth of the gallery inside, the depth of this part underneath here, and also it supports the rim as I'm shaping it. Now I'll just finish off the knob. Nicely, and that's it done. I will I'll pull the handle. I'm going to pull handles on these, but I'm going to pull them. I'll do that the second day, because if I pull handles now and store them, they're a bit too stiff to work tomorrow. So I'll pull the handles tomorrow, and then I'll turn and construct them. By which time they'll be stiff enough to use. Okay, that's the teapot. I did mention Richard Batteram was one of my favourite teapot makers, and John Jelfs during the video. They're not. I think they make the best teapots, but it's all subjective, isn't it? So here's a question for today. I've not done one for a few days, but here's a question for today. Who's your favourite teapot maker? Okay, see you tomorrow.